But knowing that this system is completely unsustainable, that it's the biggest driver of our debt in the future, you got to make some changes so that we can actually have a program that people can rely on when they retire and take the pressure off this massive driver of our national debt at the same time.
So basically, if people are 55 and older, you don't need to know anything else. You're covered under the current Medicare plan. Because Newt said to me, what would you tell a person who's 70 years old? I said, I'd tell them, don't even pay any attention. This doesn't affect you at all. What I would tell future generations is, you're not taking your money and putting it in a rat hole because you're going to have a system in place that is going to be supportive, along with you, of your own medical choices.
That's right. And we're giving people 10 years to see this coming, to prepare, to adjust, to get ready. And if you're a low-income senior, you'll get complete coverage. So, look, the problem is this program's unsustainable. It's going bankrupt. You know, people who are under 54, like, you know, our generation, I'm an X-gener, there's no way the program's going to be there for us when we retire.
So how do we prepare for that? How do we prepare for a collapsing Medicare program?
Right. The government is making trillions of dollars of empty promises to people. We want to have the government not keep making empty promises. And we want to reform the program so it's an actual secure promise that people can actually count on. And it doesn't kick in for 10 years. And so we think that's the rational, Burkean conservative thing to do. And more importantly, what we're basically saying here is if you don't fix this soon, we're going to have a debt crisis. And under a debt crisis, everybody gets cut. It's European-like austerity. Cuts across the board to current seniors, tax increases that slow down the economy. The whole purpose of our budget is to prevent and preempt a debt crisis so we can solve this problem on our own terms, so we can get the government to stop making empty promises to people and show some real political courage to fix these problems, get through all the demagoguery, and save this country from becoming a debt-ridden social welfare state. And that's basically what we're trying to achieve here.
Now, have you talked to Newt since Sunday?
I have. I talked to him, about a half hour ago. We had the same splotchy cell phone problem as well.
Well, I don't want to interfere on your personal conversation, but what can you tell us?
I think he now understands the magnitude of his comments, how wrong they were, and I think he's going to have more to say about that, and he's working on that. He basically called and apologized, and I accepted his apology.
Okay.
And look, I think he understands that that's just an inaccurate characterization. I think he just misspoke, and I think it's beginning to sink in, and you know, hopefully he can put it right, and we can move on.
I only have a minute. I'm going to tell you why I like you. I like you because everyone said you can't touch this third rail, and you touched it. And you touched it with a program that is a genuine reform, Burkean program that protects people who are on Medicare, people who will soon be on Medicare, and future generations. You're not selling them lies. You're saying, you know what, this Ponzi scheme for you folks is going to come to an end. You take the power out of the hands of a Politburo of 15 masterminds and you give it to individuals. And I'm only talking about the Medicare part of your proposal. Let me tell you something, my friend. I don't know you that well. You are the future of the Republican Party and the conservative movement. You and people like you.